What's up with it once again, ladies and gentlemen, people, humanity, fanboys and fangirls, and as always, Otaka Zinky Komariza's how here is Nintendo Sony Free 2011, aka Mania Wolverine. And of course, you guys know Wrestling Torches channel. Follow me on Twitter and my Instagram account and all the good shit. And today, I just heard about this like a couple of minutes ago, so this is very, very fresh ass news. I actually heard it from Game Sony's channel. Guys over there are godsons. Besides, I still listen to other people like Spawnwave and a little bit of like Review Tech USA here and there occasionally. Not as much as those guys, though. I've been listening to them years before I knew who they were. Anyways, there was this real long ass interview with Mr. Omarai, one of the guys that are making Pokemon Sword and Shield, one of the top like CEOs right now for Game Freak, I think. I could be wrong on that. I should be right though. But anyways, and I got some little more. This dude can't stay out the spotlight. He really can't. The former president of Nintendo, Reggie FilsAime. Ah, man, aka the Reginator, or whatever you want to call him. He's still in here, man. Anyways, I'll leave the link to the search box below. That one's a couple days old, but I still want to talk about it. So, I forgot where this came from. I had to go see. Oh, this comes from Brian Shea from Game Informer. So it says, Game Freak Talk Sword and Shield Championship. Or Champions Wild Interaction Area. I did have a little bit extra Pokemon Go news and some really fucked up Fallout 76 news, but yeah, they're doing a lot more extra microtransaction shit now, which is really fucking sad, but it is what it is. So it says, if you've been allowed, I'm only going to read like bits and pieces of it. I can't read the whole thing because the thing only goes up to like 15 minutes, which sucks, but whatever. If you've been following our coverage for Pokemon Sword and Shield, you've known, we've covered a ton of topics, such as autosaves, drawing, Pokemon, and the inspiration behind the Galar region. However, in the time since we spent a full day in Game Freak's Tokyo offices for this month, Pokemon Sword and Shield's cover story, we've thought of several new questions asked in development. Thankfully, Pokemon Sword and Shield's director, Shegeru Omarai, and producer Junichi Masuda, or Masuda, however you want to say his name, recently visited Redwood City, California, just outside of San Francisco, giving us an opportunity of not only to play the first hour and a half Pokemon Sword and Shield, but also catching up about several other topics on the Switch's game. Alright, I'm going to skip that part. On Leon's cape, he's all kinds of endorsement and advertisement. One of them was a Game Freak logo. Game Freak has a history of being into Pokemon games. Does that mean we'll also be able to find Studio in Galar? Says, good eye on you, laughs. I hope the players will discover themselves whether it's there or not. When you're in the wild area, do you have to save the game in order to save your game to a certain status of players can interact with you, or set your game to a certain status so players can interact with you? Omarai. So how it works is that there's a feature called the Y-Com, and you can activate that to broadcast yourself, your status on what do you want to do, like I want to trade, I want to battle, or whatever. And then that the broadcast gets broadcasted to anyone you've been matched up with in the back end. They will see it. And if they want to reply, or if they're also saying that they want to battle, it'll match you together, and then it goes into a synchronous connection. One of the cool things that you could do now in previous games, we've had a Wonder Trade where you could throw out Pokemon, and it would find someone to trade with, and it would happen to save the game. It was a very active process. We've kind of improved on that. So now, with surprise trades, you can choose Pokemon from trading, and then it'll happen in the background. So while you're just adventuring, you'll find someone to trade with, and after times of progresses, you'll suddenly see that Pokemon was traded for someone else, and we found a way to make it happen seamlessly without having to save actively to do it on time. And then Masuda says, also, it's not just exclusive in the wild area. I know we are just talking about the wild area right now, but this is possibly going to be one of the most popular features that engage in the game. Alright, you guys can read that part there. Planning Director Kazumoto Iawa, I ever say that name, Iowa, I think it's Iawe, brought up that the max raid battles have a difficulty as high as above anything else we have ever seen before in the mainline story of the game. Are there any other parts of Sword and Shield that have been related to Omarai? Oh! I'm not sure if they showed this one already, Pangoro. I guess he's going to be back again, because he was already in Sun and Moon, Ultra Moon. Even though a couple years before that, he was introduced in X and Y. I was like, hey, and one of loves Pancha and Pangoro, you're getting him now. Again. the third time. This is Omarai. With max raid battles, we have a star ranking system, and I think what he's talking about is when you go to 5 stars, the highest ranked ones, they are quite difficult. It's just like what Pokemon Go is, pretty fucking much. I don't do that all the time. I only get to do that a few times. When it comes to the raid battles, I only get to do it a few times here and there. If it's past 3 stars, I'm gonna be screwed as hell. Let's keep moving. They're quite difficult. I tried playing them on my own and lost many times. When you get to the highest stuff, the good team coordination, I can't really engage on what the long-term deeply finish what you mean. What's the deal with Pokemon timelines? This one was really interesting when I saw this. Masuda, it started to get a little bit complicated if you pay too much attention to timelines. Like, there might be a professor or peers, and it won't make sense at all if we apply that kind of timeline logic. So we try not to do it too rigorously. Maybe one hint is that a character is appearing with Professor Oak, and they're living in the same era rather than the series, where it makes it difficult for the timelines. As you progress and go along and the story evolves, the approach as Pokemon takes it expanding of the world is what the regions and making it richer as we go. Rather than a timeline, it's more of a physical space thing. Oh, okay. I never knew that. And he talks about Redwood in London. Alright, hold on one second. I just got a text from one of my one of my homeboys and shit. Alright, as I was saying before, obviously the stairs are underlying of the system, so throughout the earlier developments we're developing a core system, it'll be a single version soon. It's really what we started to get into more Pokemon and appears into the games, and kind of the data table stuff, where they split into 2 different versions, and we have managed to split both versions. So it seems fairly late in the process, Masuda. Okay. Yes, definitely. The later half of the development, in terms of the conceptual phases, we've also started the 2 versions of mine, but then in the development, you're building the core systems first and then splitting it up. It also depends on the project. Like the Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee games were split much earlier in the development than these ones, for example. Of course, it can actually be problematic sometimes because the team. And we've test played the games internally before we actually go into the formal debugging process. Excuse me. People have their favorites for which versions, for example, which Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. A lot of people preferred Eevee. I know I preferred Eevee. I didn't get to get the game, but maybe this year I'll get it before Sword and Shield. I don't know. Because I really want to get that little big giant, like, Galarian version. No, Gigantamax version of me. It looks really nice as shit. And they've always been playing to that. And that there will be more polish in a better state. For the Pikachu version, we have kind of made up for lost time later on. What about Sword and Shield? You probably have more people with Sword, right? Do you have more bugs than Shield? Laughs. LOLs. No, they are both good. Masuda, in the end, we do focus on the debugging versions of the same, but whether or not you split, that's definitely internal favoritism and create the lopsidedness. Ah, yeah, I remember this. I've seen this shit before, the autonomy stuff. Alright, you guys can read that last part there. Pokemon Sword and Shield launches its way November 15th. For more coverage of the game exclusive on the hub, check out our exclusive hub by clicking on the banner below. Yeah, so overall thoughts, user opinion. I've seen a bunch of videos like this. Shout out to the boy, Mr. Burkeeper Toby. I know he talked about this 2-3 years ago. There's a couple other people that have done that before. The anatomy sort of thing. I've seen a lot of Twitter, Instagram pictures like on this. Like, I think it was Kabutops and a Squirtle and Blastoise, a lot of the starters. I think one of the first ones I saw, I think was Pikachu and I think Pinsir. I don't know. That one's very fucking horrifying, by the way. The Pinsir one looks like a fucking dead-ass zombie or something. It's crazy, man. Anyways, overall thoughts, views, and opinions. It sounded like it was a really good-ass interview. Wasn't really that much shit that we didn't know. I know a couple weeks ago, like earlier this month, they did an interview before with them. I didn't get to see the video, what they were doing, talking about with it, but I think it had something to do with, like, if they wanted voice acting into the game. I really wish I could do voice acting, but that's probably never going to fucking happen. But yeah, there's that. Yeah. So here we go with this one. It's a little bit more of an older. Thanks for Nintendo Wire. I haven't read anything from Nintendo Wire in a long time. So this comes from Ben Fruziti. Even in retirement, Reggie FilsAime can't escape the Mother 3 question. Reggie FilsAime has seems like he's having a nice old retirement, getting inducted into the International Game of Hall of Fame, posting memes on Twitter and hosting lectures at the Cornell's pretty sweet deal now that he's done a tenure at the Big N. But some specters are looming along that after the supposed demise of one of the aforementioned lectures that he was asked eternally query, when are we going to get Mother 3? Reggie bears the same humor, yet to clearly exhaust expression that he's always done what he's asked about the game starting. All of my answers are out. I love Earthbound. But look, I love Earthbound. His face melts into a cathartic bliss and he continues, but luckily for me, this is a decision I'm no longer a part of. That's too bad. It would have been fun to see him part of that in some shape, way, or form, but let's move on. Even if he'll likely be asked about it until the day he dies, or until Mother 3 is localized, but let's be honest about which one will happen sooner, it is nice to see Reggie freed from the shackles of having to actually devote brain space to the prospect. Now we can all move on to pestering Doug Bowser about it instead. Alright, so yeah, that's it. So overall thoughts, views, and opinions. I guess there's a link to a video here if you want to check that shit out yourself, but oh, there he is. I think it's like they even made like a little old Earthbound version of Reggie FilsAime out there. That's cool. I haven't even watched this video yet, so I'll probably gonna check it out after I'm done with this video. Overall thoughts, views, and real opinions, though, man. Like I said, this guy has given up so much of his time and so much of a chunk of his life to this Nintendo company. So, you know, I gotta tip my hat off to the man. The guy is hilariously awesome as fuck. He still is a legend. You know, Doug Bowser is still the CEO of Nintendo of America. Let's really be honest, though. Nintendo Japan's the one that always has the last word. Whenever it comes to these game decisions, it is always them that gets that freaking moment. And with that being said, that's all I gotta say for now. I'm out of here. Peace out once again, ladies and gentlemen, bros, women, fanboys, and fangirls. As always, I'll talk to you Moris out there. I will see you when I see you guys again. Have a good night, wherever you're at in the universe out there. And as always, stay tuned for more future video gaming industry news, like I said, video gaming industry news, internet news, anime manga news, and our episode of the video. Take it easy. Peace out, man. Like sauerkraut. Late and goodbye. I'll see you on the flip side. Take care.